Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Lyon. I'm a pre-sales engineer here at Solutions PT, and today we're going to be going over how you can very quickly create a OMI application. So OMI is System Platform's native graphic and content display platform, and it's made up of a few parts that we're going to go over today, but it really helps leverage the templatized, standards-driven approach that's used in System Platform. So the first component is a screen profile. And a screen profile determines where you want to present the content. So in this example here, you can see that there's two screens present. And then if we play this animation, you can see that it fits a single screen as well. Essentially what you're doing is you're mapping out your screen real estate. So in these examples on the side, you can see that we've got one set of screen profiles that can then be swapped around through if the client doesn't have as many screens. So you can see the control room has 3 screens, the production lines have 1 screen. That content is still there. It just is able to be navigated through Alt-Tab. Next up is layouts. So once you've divided up those screens, and once you've said how many screens that you want, you can then start laying the actual content out. So this determines what content is going to be displayed and how you display it, where you display it. It's effectively a way of slicing up that real estate that you have just defined. So what is content? Content can be symbols, it can be apps, it can be other layouts. And essentially what you do to ensure that you've got the right content coming into the right areas is that you select a content type and designate it at the template level. So content types, which you'll see in the demo very shortly, are things like detailed and overview. They're just ways of subcategorizing your graphics into different categories that will help you design your layout a bit easier. So for today's example, I've got a very simple system platform model of a bakery. My bakery has 2 main areas, operations and production, and then production is split into 3 areas. You can see there we've got dough making, baking, and packaging, and some of those have lines, and baking has an individual oven. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to launch that up, and you can see in the bottom left here that this is that exact model that we were just talking about. And I've already got my content in here. So if I open up my oven as an example, and I go to one of the pieces of content that's in here, you can see oven detailed and oven overview are 2 graphics that I've got present within this from the template level. And you can see over here on the right, this is that content type that I just mentioned. You can see that this is obviously defined as a detailed type of content. So I'm going to close that and close this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get started with the first step, which is creating a screen profile. So in the graphic toolbox, I'm going to hit new and screen profile. So that's going to create it as screen profile 1. And we'll open this up and do some tweaks to it. So as I mentioned, screen profiles, the ways to represent your available screen real estate. You can have as many screens in a profile as you want. So for example, I could create 2 more screens. I can change the orientation of them. I can change the resolution of them to match however many monitors I have. But for me, I've just got the 1 screen. So I'm going to stick it I'll stick to it as the single screen 1920 by 1080. You can see that you can enable things like taskbar positions, touch screen, because OMI is fully supported in mobile environments. It's designed with a very much a mobile first approach as well. But now that's my layout done, I'm going to hit save. And that is the first step done. Next, I need to create a layout, which again is that way of slicing up that screen profile that we have just discussed and just created. So I'll load this up. And this is essentially how you map out and divide that available screen size and create your UI. So generally, you've already decided on this sort of UI layout before you've actually started creating this. So for me, what I want is I want to have 2 main panes, a bottom pane on the bottom of the screen that has my alarm client. I want a breadcrumb navigation on the top, and I want a slide-in navigation tree. So I'm going to add a new pane at the bottom for the alarms. Then I'm going to add the top pane for the breadcrumb navigation. I'm going to split this middle section into two, and then I'm just going to resize. So my main, my detailed and my overview content is going to go in these panes. My alarm content is going to go here, and my breadcrumb navigation is going to go here. And then I've also decided that I want a slide-in pane, which is a pane that you can add in, that you can click into, or you can do a sliding motion with your finger if you're using a tablet, and have that come into the application just like that. So that is my layout pretty much done. All I need to do now is just specify what type of content I want to put in. So for my left one, I want my detailed graphics. So I'm going to select detailed content type. You can see that that use for autofill has been ticked. So that means it's going to autofill the correct type of content for me. Same for this. I'm going to have overview for that pane. And then the rest I'm going to fill in with some other information and some other apps that come pre-installed with System Platform. So I'm going to hit save on that and close it. And then we're going to create the actual OMI app. So I'm going to create a derived template from the base view app. And I'm going to launch and edit it. So here we've got the screen profile that we just created. Obviously, if you have multiple, there'll be a list here. But for me, it's just the one. And then the layout that we've just designed. Again, you'd have a list here normally. And hit finish. So that's what that's going to do is that's going to use that those pieces of content and then build the app for us. You can see here, this is the actual OMI application now. So I've already set up pane 1 and pane 4 to pull in the graphics automatically. Now I want to drop in some of the additional features that I wanted in my other panes. So my first feature was I wanted an alarm. So there is an alarm app that comes with System Platform that you can just drag and drop in. And what this will do is it will create an alarm display that dynamically requeries to match the context of where I am in the app navigation. So it's really pulling in that model view and the standards-driven approach of System Platform and making it so that it scopes the alarms to where I am relative to the rest of the app. Next, I want a navigation tree control for my slide-in pane. So I'm going to scroll down and select Navigation App. And the Nav Tree control is going to automatically pull through the navigation from my model view that I've already defined. Then I want a breadcrumb view on the top that will show where I am and just provide an easier way of clicking back through instead of having to drag in the slide-in pane again. And that is essentially it. So now if we launch this into preview, we'll see the app that we've created in a flash just like this. There we go. So that now should have loaded. So I'm just going to open that up. And we can see here that we've not got any content just because we've not got, we're not on a particular area of the model that has the graphics that it needs. So if I open up this asset view and I go down to production, let's go to my oven. You can now see that we've got that exact layout. So I've got my detailed graphic, I've got an overview graphic showing off some of my oven statuses in general with some general overview information. I've got the alarm client down here that's just showing me my alarms that are relevant to my oven. And I've got my breadcrumb navigation so I can go back and scope out as and when I need to. And just to show another example of that, if I go to dough making, and I go to one of my mixers, you can see that we've got, again, my detailed mixer graphic, and then a mixer overview graphic. My alarms are scoped to the dough making line, and the breadcrumb navigation is updated. And that's how easy it is to start really leveraging the power of System Platform and putting it into a visual content platform without any need for additional re-engineering. It's already using the work that you've done within System Platform. So I hope this was helpful for everyone. And if you've got any questions about it, please do feel free to get in touch with us at Solutions PT.